What is up, gang? This is the X Featurette channel. I'm Chris, and I have a video about Christmas movies today, because why not? That's what I've been watching whenever I'm able to watch movies, so figured I'd spread the holiday spirit today. So I hope you feel festive. Lewis Witcher and I, right over here, we have a rack of, it's mostly horror DVDs, but the top shelf is all like Christmas movies. Took a page out of Joe and Marie's book and CD Warehouse's book, and we made a designated Christmas section. So it stays there year round. And I just kind of went through my Christmas shelf and pulled out some stuff that I either like or I wanted to comment on. If you watched my last video, my answers to my Q&A, Lewis Switcher asked this question, and he asked what my top 5 Christmas movies were, and I kind of answered that, but, so that was, I guess, a little spoiler for this, if you have seen that, but, why not just start with my all-time favorite, and that's not going to change, which is Christmas Vacation. I don't know anybody that doesn't like this movie. It's a classic, and, I think it's, the most quotable movie ever, I think. I laughed myself silly. Christmas Vacation jingled my bells is a quote on here from somebody at WNBC TV New York. There you go. Leave me a comment if you have not seen this and what is your reason. I will say I hadn't seen this until maybe I don't know. It was I was an adult. I didn't watch this as a kid or anything. But it became an instant classic for me. An absolute necessity. This is what I watch in the background whenever I, wrap gifts or whatever. Or whenever I'm working. I have a bunch of movies on my Movies Anywhere account, and I watch them digitally on my phone while I'm working. So that and Elf are usually my 2 biggest ones. My husband has this NECA figure. He's a figure guy, and he likes to take his out of the box, which I never do, but I think that's pretty funny in this case. So, there you go. It's pretty cute. The next one is my husband's favorite Christmas movie, which is Christmas with the Cranks, and he and I had both saw this years and years ago, whenever it was new, because this is what, a 2000 movie? 2004. So we had both seen this whenever it was new and didn't really care for it. As adults, we appreciate it more. So it grew on me for sure. Dan Aykroyd's character in this is absolutely amazing. Vic Frohmeyer. Jamie Lee Curtis is in this, playing the lead lady, Nora Crank. And she's good, but she rubs me the wrong way a lot of the time. I just feel like her character is just always having mood swings. She's angry and upset one minute with her husband, and then she's like, Blair, what? Blair's calling? And it's just she's way too over the top in some situations. I get she's supposed to be excited that her kid's calling, but it's just I don't know, there's just too many times where she's like, Blair. I don't know. We have a Christmas with the Cranks poster right up there that I got my husband for Christmas last year. This movie we saw for the first time a couple of years ago, 4 Christmases, with Vince Vaughn and Reese Witherspoon, and I said I hate romantic comedies, and I guess that's what this is, but this is one I find it absolutely hilarious. I guess it hits close to home for me because I was always kind of adverse to children, and then I decided to have a family whenever I was older, so that aspect of it, and just their aversion to changing their lifestyle, I can very much relate to that. So it was just funny. Vince Vaughn is hilarious, and it's very enjoyable. I was very surprised how much I liked it. There's a romantic comedy that I like. Another of my all-time favorite Christmas movies is Bad Santa. I absolutely love this movie. I think that it is hands down the funniest Christmas movie ever made. I love Bernie Mac and I love John Ritter, and that duo in this like makes the movie. It is so phenomenal. I don't know if you have not seen this, it's just basically like Billy Bob Thornton plays this like alcoholic loser who tries to like he's basically like a thief, and yeah, it's a story about him changing having a change of heart. So which reminds me, I didn't pull Stealing Christmas, but Stealing Christmas with Tony Danza is really good too, and it basically rips that off, but it's really funny. Bad Santa 2, I watched for the first time, I think last year, or maybe the year before, but I thought that it was a really strong sequel. You know, obviously, the late, great Bernie Mac and John Ritter are not in this. It, so, you know, that element was like sorely, sorely missed. But we do have Thurman Merman and Billy Bob, and everybody came back for this. So it was good. I was honestly surprised how much I enjoyed it. So if you're a fan of Bad Santa, I do suggest you give this a chance because it was shockingly strong in my opinion. Let me know if you disagree, but I think that it was really strong. Ernest Saves Christmas is such a feel-good kids movie. You know, who doesn't love Ernest P. Worrell? In this movie, he meets Santa Claus. You know, some misled teen like steals his bag, and they're trying to get Santa his bag back, and there's just all these like Ernest hijinks. It is so fun. It's heartwarming. I think that maybe like Scared Stupid is probably my favorite Ernest movie, but this is very high up there. Very much enjoy it. A holiday comedy unlike any other. That is true. High-flying reindeer, mischievous elves, warp speed sleigh rides. It's got everything. So, God bless Jim Varney. This is a gem of a movie, and I love it. Here's one that we just picked up. Lewis Switcher just bought this for me at Target. Elf. I like literally didn't own this physically until now, so now I have it. Didn't even open it yet because I still have, you know, I have my digital copy that I've been watching like almost every day. This is probably my favorite movie to watch while I'm working, like have playing while I'm working. A lot of people like don't like Will Ferrell, and I don't understand that because I think that he's really funny, but like Lewis Switcher hates him, but I think that he does like a really good job in this. One thing that I really enjoyed about this, and I haven't seen it on this yet, I watched it somewhere else, but there's a behind the scenes on how this was made and how they like filmed it, because it wasn't like CGI. This is all like practical effects. So whenever you see him sitting here with like the other elves in his class, that is literally like he was sitting up like on a riser, and he was just in the foreground of the shot. It was so creative how they utilized like the camera work and perspectives to make, you know, there was like a scene where he's sitting on Papa Elf's lap, and you know, he's obviously much bigger because he's a human, and how they filmed that was amazing. It was just very creative how they pulled it all off. And by the way, Papa Elf is Bob Newhart, and I absolutely love Bob Newhart. I was like a strange kid, and I used to love watching the Bob Newhart show. I love that he was an accountant, just like me. Yeah, it's a really great cast in this, even though Zooey Deschanel's in it, but, you know, it's still fine. And then also in the vein of children's movies, one of my all-time favorites is The Muppet Christmas Carol, and why is the music in this so good? Like, the music in every Jim Henson production is just spot on. It's basically like a Broadway musical. It's like that tier, I feel like, of music. It's so catchy, and it's just fun. So we have Gonzo plays Mr. Charles Dickens. I think he makes a very fine Charles Dickens, and this is just such a good feel-good movie. It is creepy, like, I love that they don't talk down to kids in this too, because Gonzo is like talking about, like, you know, he's telling Rizzo the rat that he's omniscient, and they're talking about how, you know, the ghost of Christmas yet to come is too scary and how they're going to be back in the future. And like, it's like, they don't talk down to kids in this movie. And I really enjoy that because as a kid, I appreciated it because I felt like it wasn't geared. I mean, even though it's the Muppets, it's not like it was like geared towards kids in a way that's like stupid. Like, it's not dumbing anything down for kids. It's literally a telling of Charles Dickens' The Christmas Carol, but with Muppets. And Michael Caine, who is my favorite Scrooge. Like, sorry, Patrick Stewart, but Michael Caine was an amazing Scrooge. If you have not seen this, I definitely suggest it. It's been one of my favorites since I was a kid. Tiny Tim makes me cry. So I really, really love this movie. Can't wait till my kids like old enough to really appreciate it. And in the vein of Jim Henson, we have Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas, which is also very, very sad. It's kind of like the gift of the Magi with Emmett Otter and his mom, and they want to get each other Christmas gifts, like really nice Christmas gifts, and they have to like give something up for the other. But in order to raise money, they like join a jug band, like for a talent show to raise money or something. Emmett and Ma, Frogtown Hollow. What was the other band? It was like the River Bottom Nightmare Band. The River Bottom Nightmare Band. There was like the rival band had like a snake, and it was just like these like really bad like rebel characters. And the characters in this are so cool. Like, I mean, all Jim Henson like creations have really cool characters, but that just stuck out in this one. It was, every time I see something with his Muppets, it just like blows my mind how they make it happen, how the puppeteers do their job and they make these things happen on screen. It's like magical. So I love this movie, and it's so sad though. It's very, very sad, but it's a good Christmas movie, especially if you appreciate puppetry. The other one, which I do not own, but I just saw it on Prime for the first time in years, is Jim Henson's The Christmas Toy. And it's one of those tapes that whenever we're having like a Disney preview on cable, back in the 90s, they would do like a special preview of like one channel. And we had our tape going all day recording like everything that was on the preview so we could just watch that stuff over and over again. We had it recorded, so I watched The Christmas Toy like over and over again, even though we didn't own it per se. We had it like a copied tape, but oh my gosh, I loved it so much. It's basically like The Secret Life. I thought that there was a show, because there's The Christmas Toy, and then I thought that might have spawned a show called The Secret Life of Toys, because I very clearly remember the theme song, The Secret, 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 Secret Life of Toys. But it's basically like Toy Story before Toy Story, because it's about what toys do when you leave the room. And obviously they're all puppets in this case, but these characters were so vibrant. So we had Rugby, the tiger, and he's like very headstrong. And then we had Mew, the cat toy, the Hortense. I don't know what her name was. There was Apple, which was basically like supposed to be like a Raggedy Ann doll, but Lewis said it looked like a female Chucky. There was Balthazar, the old wise teddy bear that had tons of mending in his seams. I didn't look it up or anything, but I know it came out before Toy Story. What I totally forgot about this, I think I blocked it out of my memory, is that in this movie, again, this is A Christmas Toy, which is currently on Prime. I don't think it's been released physically. I'll have to look. But in this movie, it is so dark. If the people catch the toys out of place, like they're playing around, and if a human like sneaks up on them when they're not expecting to be out of the place where they were last left, the toy will be frozen forever, which basically means death. And there's this scene where there's a I think it's a toy train or something, and it's basically pulling this toy that got caught. It's pulling it into this like corner of the room where they have like a pile of frozen toys, and it's basically like a big, like, mass grave of frozen toys. And I'm like, it's not just like one little tiny snippet of the episode. They keep referring back to, oh, what if you get caught? Oh, you'll be frozen forever. And then there's toys that do get caught. There's a couple toys that we see them freeze and they literally like just are dead now. Like they're frozen forever. Got to take them over to the pit of dead toys. It's so dark. And I was like, I don't think I want my kid watching this for some time. But I don't know. I mean, everything scarred us when we were kids, I feel like. I feel like everything was creepy though when we were kids. Like look at The Dark Crystal, The Never-Ending Story, you know, very, very bizarre stuff. So I don't know, like that was cool, but I was so happy to see that again after all these years. And I was very happy to be able to screen it and know that I shouldn't let my tiny toddler watch it just yet. So good call. Be warned, but yeah, that's on Prime right now. The next one is Rocko's Modern Life. This is my favorite Christmas special of all time, and I watch this Christmas special every year. I have the full series of Rocko, and the episode that I'm talking about is featured in the inside cover here. This is actually, like, this artwork in here is a lithograph that I have that came with the Shout, whenever Shout was selling it, they did like a thing with a lithograph. So I got that because this is my favorite Nicktoon of all time. So it's beautiful artwork. Absolutely love it. But we have right here, you'll see there's the car of elves and it's being driven by Fruitcake Man. Children love Fruitcake Man. So he was like the Santa character at the mall. Come, sit on Fruitcake Man's lap. And then some kid like bit his face off. We have the tiny little elf, and then we have Mitch, the three-legged elf. He's there. And then we have the snow cloud that's trying to snow. That episode is like so ingrained in my mind. Rocko just wants to throw a Christmas party, and he invites everybody, but then this really bad rumor spreads that a gang of foot fungus infested trolls is going to be there. So nobody shows up, and it is so funny. Like Heifer and Filbert's characters selling trees at the mall was really classic. Rocko going to the mall and the alligators who are selling shoes in the mall, like the predatory salesman. That was really good. The whole episode is amazing. So that's by far my favorite Christmas special. And before we dive into the few Christmas horror ones that I have, a very Harold and Kumar Christmas. I love Harold and Kumar. Every time I think about it, I want to eat some White Castle, but there isn't one around. So I would have to drive to Columbus. I learned. I have my very own waffle bot here, so he's cute. And this special edition comes with, the beer pong set. So, might as well just take it out. Why don't we unbox this piece? So, there's my never used beer pong set, but it has a waffle bot. And then we have Harold and Kumar. So, it's pretty neat. I guess if I ever want to play beer pong, I can now. Then there's the actual thing. The extra dope edition. This is just one more example of I love stoner movies. Literally have never smoked weed in my life. But love movies about it, so there we go. And I love Neil Patrick Harris. And then we have some Christmas horror. I only watched this once, but I was very surprised how much I liked it. Better Watch Out, which I thought was just going to be like a generic Home Alone ripoff at first, but it isn't. It's just like very, very deranged. And I was shocked. I was honestly shocked at what happened in the movie and how much I enjoyed it. So then there's a Christmas Horror Story, which I have seen so many times. And like, I'm not showing this because I love this movie or anything. I'm showing it because I have seen this so many times and I'm confused by it. Like, I am confused by the fact that I think that this is the movie Krampus. I don't think that I've ever seen the movie Krampus because every time that I think that I had seen it, I'm thinking of this movie. So, not sure exactly what I've seen. I think that I honestly like this more than I think I do. I don't know how I feel because I feel like I like it a lot, but then sometimes I watch it and I'm like, man, this sucks. But then I keep watching it, like thinking that it's really good. So I don't know. I don't know what my opinion is on this. It's like, it's an enigma. We have Christmas Evil, which is totally deranged. It's one of the more out there Christmas movies. You know, I think I like this a lot. I know a lot of people don't. But it's very depraved and I like it a lot. So it's a Vinegar Syndrome movie, and it says, and it's about a kid that just like idolizes Santa, and then he grows up and, you know, does some messed up stuff in a Santa suit. And then speaking of which, we have Silent Night, Deadly Night, which is a very similar story. My husband loves these movies. I haven't seen them all that much, but I did enjoy them a lot. Are they good movies? Probably not, but you know, I very much enjoy them for like crappy slashers. So speaking of Christmas horror, I also wanted to mention probably my favorite. I love the movie Black Christmas, and I actually really liked the remake too. That one creeped me out a lot. I don't know why, but the Black Christmas remake and just how they filmed from the perspective of, you know, the creepy dude, like having jaundice and stuff, like him like looking through the little holes and stuff. I don't know why that sketched me out so bad, but being like unknowingly watched is like one of the things in horror movies that really creeps me out, which is why that I'm creeped out by It Follows, and why Black Christmas just like creeps me out a lot. But I love those movies so much. So I actually own the remake. I didn't pull it, but I really enjoy that. But the other one that I wanted to mention is Rare Exports, which I don't own. It's probably my favorite Christmas horror movie of all time. If you're not into seeing like old Santa dick, then you should probably not watch it. Like people like Louis Swidger would be turned off by that. But you know, that was not the focal point of the movie by any means. It was just so deranged. It's like a very different telling of the story of Santa Claus. So, you know, maybe it's not exactly some nice guy that brings you gifts. Maybe it's just any old man wandering around the woods. I don't know, naked. What a creepy movie. So those are some of my favorites and stuff that I wanted to mention. I am about ready to go pop in a movie and wrap some gifts and chill. I hope that this video enhanced your Christmas spirit. And just a reminder, don't use the non-nutritive cereal varnish on your sleds. Very happy holidays to you and yours, and I will see you next time. Bye.